Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to another prep diary episode of my prep series for 2023. So I am filming this on December 31st, last day of 2022, and I'm just gonna kind of take you guys through the day. I want to talk a little bit about my situation this past week. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, like, this will be obviously delayed, but I was stuck in St. Louis. So the last video you guys saw, you did see part of that video. I was back in St. Louis. That's where I'm originally from. That's where I traveled home for Christmas, and unfortunately my flight was canceled on Monday night, and it is now Saturday, and I got home yesterday. And that was just the soonest that they had available for me. So I kind of had to roll with the punches and kind of had to adapt. And I'll be very honest, in the past I have not been somebody who's very good at like changes in my routine. That's something that I struggle with and I'm personally working on, but I found that I actually handled it really well. So yeah, I'll chat a little bit about that, but I wanted to intro this video, say welcome to my prep diaries. I think this is episode 4, and yeah, I'm making some tea right now, and I just did cardio a little while ago, but it is a rest day from the actual gym, from the weights. But I'm going to show you guys something I've been making recently, like within the past week. I actually kind of created this when I was in St. Louis, and I call this my digestion chocolate pudding, or digestion fudge pudding, and I'll show you guys why. So it's this little concoction I've been making with psyllium husk and chocolate greens, and it's actually really good. And I know I've talked a little bit about the psyllium husk in a previous video, but the reason I take psyllium husk is to help me with my digestion and just staying regular with going to the bathroom. And then the chocolate greens can also help with digestion as well. So I'm going to show you guys this little concoction I've been making with those two things and then one other thing. And I call it my little digestion fudge pudding, and it is actually so good. Like, if you try it, you'll have to let me know what you think, because I think that you'll see me make it and you'll be like, that's kind of odd, but it's actually delicious. So let me show you guys how I make it and what it looks like. Okay, so here is the concoction before I'm making it. So you'll see I have my whole psyllium husks. I just got this from Sprouts. And if you guys have never seen psyllium husk, it just looks like this. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but it's like just kind of like almost like a powder slash oat type of thing. But it is really good for digestion. You will see it has soluble and insoluble fiber. So I've been taking it to just like stay regular. I've got my chocolate PE Science greens, which you guys are probably tired of me talking about these now. And then I've got my actually my favorite flavor right now from PE Science is their chocolate truffle protein. Absolutely love this. So what I'm going to do is I have this just like leftover Starbucks cup. I have a tablespoon of psyllium husks and hit psyllium husk in there already. I'm going to add a scoop of greens, and then it really depends. You don't have to add a whole scoop of protein. You can add like a half a scoop of protein. So I add those 3 things in, and then I literally just add water and kind of stir it up, and it forms like a paste or like a sludge or fudge. And believe me, you guys, it sounds a little bizarre, but like I would not be recommending it if it tasted disgusting. So I'm gonna mix these 3 things together, and I will show you guys the end product. Okay, so I mixed it all together. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. So here is what it looks like, and I will just show you. It looks a little like gritty, right? And that's just because of the psyllium husk, because like I said, the psyllium husk, it's almost like a combination of like oatmeal, but in powdered form. So that's why it looks a little gritty, but you can add more or less water if you want. So sorry, my camera's not focusing. So you can add a lot of water if you want it a little bit more like you know, liquidy, but if you want it more fudge-like, just add less water. But it's actually so good, and it's called, I call it my little digestion pudding because it's got the psyllium husk, it's got chocolate greens. So yeah, that's my latest new obsession. Okay, so I figured I would film a clip and kind of fill you guys in more on my past week, as I had mentioned earlier that I was stuck in St. Louis because I flew Southwest, and I'm sure many of you guys watching, if you're in the States, heard about the holiday madness around Christmas that was with Southwest Airlines. They were canceling a lot of their flights, and I've always had a really great experience with them, and I'm not here to like say they're bad by any means. I think every company goes through their things, but anyways, my flight was supposed to be back home to Tampa Tampa on Monday night, like really late Monday night, and I woke up Monday morning and saw that it was canceled. So I called Southwest and I was on hold for like a total of 5 hours because I called twice. So 5 hours total, and basically all they could do for me is give me a flight for New Year's Eve night. So fortunately I was able to actually get on the Southwest app on Thursday, and I found a flight for Friday morning. So I flew back yesterday morning, got home a little in like the afternoon, and but like I said earlier, I have never felt like my strong suit as a person has been adapting and being flexible. I'm kind of one of those people that's very good at executing a routine. I need a routine, and I think for the most part, like everybody does need a routine to some sort, right? However, I have been somebody in the past who is sometimes too rigid and like too routine-like, and sometimes that holds me back with some things I do, and it's something I know about myself and I'm working on. And I have to say I was really proud about how I handled this situation, because especially being in prep, you know, this is my prep series, so I'm kind of here to talk a little bit about how I handled that while still being on prep, because it's not like I could have just been like, oh, well, okay, I can't go to the gym, can't get in my cardio, I have to fall off track. Like, you know, the good news is I brought my scale with me, like my weighing scale. I was still able to weigh in every day. I was still able to get my my data to my coach. And then I'm actually gonna put my pictures up above here, my progress pictures. They're a little weird because, like, especially the back pose, because I did not have my heels, and I also did not have my suit because I had it fully intended to be back in Tampa for my check-in day, so I didn't pack my heels, didn't pack my suit, so that's why check-in pictures look a little weird, like lighting-wise and what I'm wearing. I was actually really happy, though, with how I looked, all things aside. You know, sometimes with travel or just when you're not at home in your routine, you know, we as individuals are more susceptible to a little bit of water retention. That just naturally happens to a lot of people when they travel, but I was very surprised. I felt like my core looked very tight. My weight fluctuates a lot, I find, and so my weight did just like fluctuate within a pound or so the whole time while I was in St. Louis, like up and down. So I'll take that as a win, nothing crazy. I am a little frustrated with my weight on the scale, but like my coach said, I had a lot going on this week with just a lot of uncertainty of like when I was going to be home, so that could have had to do with like why the scale was not moving. Like I said, it kind of fluctuated within a pound. It would go up some days, go down, and so it's like more of a mental like kind of tiff than anything. But when I look at the pictures, I am genuinely really proud of where I'm at in those pictures, and my coach did not change anything, which I was really surprised. I thought that he would decrease my macros or increase my cardio, but basically he just said, get home, get back in your routine, and I feel like your body will be like back to normal. So fingers crossed. Hopefully I have a good update for you guys next week. Next week's check-in, I will likely be going in person to check in with my coach Paul, and we're gonna do some content there. So next video, hopefully I can get some content of that. I was supposed to do that this past week, but like I said, my plans got a little thrown off, and you know what? I just had to roll with the punches. And the good news was I was able to, like, my dad and my stepmom have an extra car, and my sister and I were kind of sharing it. And so I was still able to drive to the gym. I was able to just get like a week pass at the gym, and then I was still able to do my cardio. My dad and stepmom actually have a treadmill in the storage room, and I'm sure some of you guys saw it in the last video. So that was really nice. I could do my cardio first thing when I woke up in the morning. So it was all just about kind of adapting my routine and finding a new routine while I was there, because usually when I travel, if I'm going to be somewhere for like more than 3 days, I do try and adapt myself to a set routine as far as like, okay, when I'm going to work out, when I'm going to do my cardio, when I'm going to eat throughout the day, what I'm going to eat throughout the day. So that's just what works best for me. And again, because I am on prep, I do need to stick with some sort of routine regardless of where I go, right? But I was really proud of myself for adapting. And, you know, my prayers go out for, there were people that were stranded, you know, with kids and stranded at the airport. So my situation could have been totally worse. But wanted to share that with you guys and also share my progress pictures and where I'm at. But I will jump on and talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay, so this is a non-judgment zone, FYI, but I'm going to show you guys something, like a combo I've actually really been liking recently. So I'm making this because I'm going to take it over to my mom's, because I'm going over there to celebrate Christmas with her a little bit late, but This is my recent like favorite combo. It's these sweet peas. So I've started taking a liking to peas, and I like that they have a decent amount of fiber in them, and they're just really rich in micronutrients. And it's so funny because as a kid growing up, I remember I absolutely used to despise peas, but I just got these in the frozen section at Target, and then I just microwave them. And then I've got some low-fat cottage cheese, really good source of protein. And then, so that's what you see in here. I mixed both of those together. So got some protein, got a little bit of fat from the cottage cheese, and I have some carbs, but also some really good fiber from the sweet peas. But I'm going to also add a little bit of this dry roasted edamame. They just look like the beans like this, and they're dry roasted, so they're actually like crunchy. So I'm gonna add probably I think I'm adding a half a serving in here, and gonna mix it up, and you get all of the interesting textures, and it's actually just really good. I've even just done like the sweet peas and the cottage cheese before all mixed up, and it's really good. But I'm gonna add the edamame. The edamame is also really rich in fiber. If you look at these macros, we've got 5 fat, 9 carb, 14 protein, and 6 fiber for 1 whole serving. So 1 serving is 30 grams. Serving size is decent, so I'm gonna put a half serving in this, but I just got this at, oh gosh, where did I get it? I got it at the grocery store. Some grocery stores carry it. I don't think Walmart carries it, just FYI, but I've gotten it at Publix before, so that is where I found this. So I'm gonna add it in here, but I wanted to show you guys that I have recently been on this little interesting food kick. So I've definitely talked about this before, but I had to show you guys before I took it. So this product from Cured Nutrition called Aura, it's like a gut health and immunity supplement all in one. It has vitamin D, it has zinc, it has vitamin C, it has a bunch of digestive enzymes, it has CBD. It's amazing. But I have to give you guys a quick update, and I hope I'm not jinxing anything, but I did not catch the Olympia plague, so I went to the Olympia, I guess it was almost 2 weeks ago, and like pretty much everybody I was with got sick. I did not get sick, and I've been on a plane multiple times. I was on a plane yesterday, and I was actually with my sister yesterday, and she's under the weather and not feeling good, and I was like sitting next to her a lot yesterday, and I'm still not sick. And I have to say, I don't think this is like a magic pill, but I have dodged a lot of bullets and I've been taking this. And so highly recommend if you need like a little immune supplement or a little backup during this season, because there's a lot going around. Highly recommend this. I'll put my discount code below, but I like it because it's also a gut health and immunity supplement all in one, and it has CBD. So I just had to give a little plug on that real quick. So I thought I'd show you guys real quick. I'm actually trying a new oatmeal. These are blueberries if you see what's in there. I haven't started up yet, but the brand Better Oats that I always rave about, they had this blueberry flavor. I actually threw away the box because I had to travel home with these packets when I was traveling home from St. Louis, and I didn't have room for the box, but I'll insert a picture here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I'm trying out this flavor for the first time, and it's definitely a little different than like the regular 100 calorie Better Oats packs that I get. It's a little bit higher in carb, and the oats are, in my opinion, like a little thicker, but it's a good little mix-up, and I like it. If you like blueberry, highly recommend. Hello friends, so happy freaking new year. So it is the next day, and it is 2023 officially. It's a Sunday, but it feels like it's like on Monday though. I don't know. But anyways, I wanted to kind of wrap up this video and chat a little bit in lieu of it being the new year. I just got out of the shower and I'm like, I forgot to film a last like an outro clip for this video, but I wanted to share with you guys some of my goals, specifically more so for competing. So I have been asked, somebody actually asked me last week, they're like, can you talk about more of like what your goals are for competing? And I guess it's a good point. Like, I haven't necessarily really told you guys what my goals are for this competition season and competing and all of that. So I kind of want to share those. And I know that personally for me, at the beginning of every year, and I did this last year, I like to physically write down like all of my goals in a notebook. That way I can just leaf through and be reminded of them throughout the year. Like, not that I'm gonna forget, but it's just fun to look back on them. And then it's also cool to look back at them and reflect at the end of the year, right? So that's something I did, but I wanted to specifically talk about my competing goals for 2023. So, I am almost a little hesitant and kind of afraid to say this because it's a bit of a lofty goal, and I like to set really big goals, but I also like to be realistic and take it one step at a time. But I'll just be brutally honest with you guys. My end goal as a competitor is to turn pro. I want to be a pro bikini competitor, and I go through phases where I doubt myself, I'll be honest, but I truly am trying to believe in myself the most I can, and I'm really approaching this season with like that being my big goal, right? Like shoot for the moon, but like I said, I want to be realistic, so therefore that's kind of like my overarching really big goal, right? Whether that happens this year or in 5 years, like that's just my biggest goal with competing. And then my other goal this year is I really want to win an overall title. So for those of you who don't compete and don't really know what that means, essentially that means that I would go to a regional show, so or a national show, but I would go to a show and I would win first in my height class, right? So there's like class A, B, C, D, E, and they're all dependent on your height. I would have to win first in my height class, and then at the very end you get compared to all of the first place girls in their height class, and the top one girl there wins the overall. So I've never won an overall before. That's my goal that I'm really reaching for. So, and then also like another goal is I want to compete multiple times. I definitely don't plan on just competing once a season and being done, unless, God forbid something comes up that I don't have control over, but I want to compete multiple times. So as long as things go according to plan, I will be on stage, hopefully 3, maybe 4 times, maybe 5 times. I don't know. I want to get on stage multiple times. So those are my personal competing goals. And then also just to bring in an improved package and to not look like I did in 2021. That's another huge goal of mine. I don't want to step on stage looking like the same girl I did in 2021. Just because I've spent so long building, I feel like that has paid off, and I will step on stage looking different, but that's a really big goal of mine as well. And then I guess another goal too is just to continue to have an impact on you guys and other aspiring or current competitors. I really enjoy sharing my journey because that is a really big goal of mine, is to grow and build this YouTube channel and this community, and to be somebody that be a competitor that a lot of people watch on YouTube while they're doing their cardio or just for motivation in general. So those are all of my competing related goals for 2023. I'm super curious if you guys have any goals you want to share. Comment below. They don't have to be competing related at all. But I am going to go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you have not done already, because I don't know when this video will come out, but it'll be super, super soon into the new year, if not New Year's Day. I encourage you guys to, doesn't have to be a notebook, but get out a piece of paper and write down your goals. Write them down. I find that writing them down it's like speaking them almost into existence, right? If you don't write them down, it's always just going to be a pondering thought in your head, and it may be a lot easier to just say, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that this year, right? So write it down and really, really, really write it down so you can remind yourself and work towards that goal each and every day this year. But I wanted to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Comment below if there's anything that, like I said, any goals that you guys want to share with me. I'd love to hear them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for supporting me and my YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it if you feel so compelled to do so. And I hope wherever you guys are at in the world that you have an awesome rest of your day.